a lot of when they're off, for that week. It looks like it's double up of stockpiling in the house. But we
Yeah.
got to have to be grateful because those back in Nigeria that would love to have the same opportunity have not been given that opportunity, and that is why Star Radio is here to give all the update of the happenings in Nigeria and in Africa. And like you said, I've been following the conversation. A lot of Yorubas are now asking if two countries have been given independence without any
Mm.
recognition yet from the international community, these
Yeah.
are less than some of our local government back in Nigeria.
Mm.
Then the question is, why should a population of more than 80 million still be
Mm.
stuck inside a country called Nigeria that has not really been helpful for the last 61 years of
80
its
million.
existence?
Yeah,
Still,
but on that angle too, we're going to be finding a bit difficult because if you look at what is happening in Donetsk and
80
those
million.
areas, you have a powerful force like Russia that is actually supporting them.
well, a lot of people are
And
saying we should go and meet Russia to get the support from. What do you think is going to happen when people are saying we should just go to Russia because Russia seems to be the opposite to what the other international player might be talking about. So that's exactly what
Yeah.
people are saying. It's been a lot of conversation within those especially that have been demanding for self-determination. But we also consider
Yeah.
those that are also asking for one Nigeria, which I'm going to be discussing, are now saying that it looks like some of the influencers that were out during the NSAS are now being brought by the politician to campaign for 2023. And they are now saying,
Wow.
just go and get your PVC. I don't know whether it's going to work using the PVC to chase them away. But Obasanjo says rebels is more needed in Nigeria. He's been talking lately in the last couple of days and weeks. That's the former
Yeah,
president,
for,
Olusegun Obasanjo.
yeah, that's good. It's good we hear from him. He's someone I do respect. I recall meeting him once, and he's a very gentleman. Although with a bit of questions as everybody will have anyway. But on the issue about Nigerian, Yoruba, and Igbo getting Russia, what is happening in Russia, what is happening in Ukraine, there's a historical link to it, which, I mean, those of us in Yoruba will not have. Russia never colonized Nigeria. So, I mean, how to come out with a historical link, USSR, all these areas were part of, one USSR. We do not have that link. If we're going to be having probably, let's say, Benin Republic, probably supporting, that might help, but
I
I
think
don't
I
see
think
how.
Archie said something like that, and I said even Benin himself is not even up to the population of Lagos State.
Yeah. Olayomi, what do we have coming from Nigeria? Mindful of time, let's proceed straight.
Well, quite a lot. This morning we saw fire engulf through the Federal Ministry of Finance headquarters, and that video went viral. The information went viral, but it doesn't seem as maybe what we think because what they are saying, is that this fire occurred in one of their back end team where the batteries are kept. The question again is when we have a full functioning system like the electricity, there will not be any reason for keeping a backup battery somewhere, within the federal ministry. So this morning, the headline that I've circulated is the Federal Ministry of Finance headquarters in Abuja was engulfed in fire at the early hours of this morning. The details of the infamous has now been, given out to say that this happened, in the back end thing. So that is coming from the headline this morning. Also, we do know that the APC has now moved its convention to March 26th. Fraction faulted party Buhari government up for consensus of zoning. I did say it at the beginning of February when I came back, that APC might break into a couple of more parties before the end of this year, and there's no doubt about that based on some of the what we've been following lately. The All Progressive Congress said faction have won the party against going ahead with the March 12th zonal congress and March 26th national convention without resolving the crisis in its state chapter. This is just as APC governors in Abuja on Tuesday endorsed the new date for the national convention as well. So let's push quickly to some other headline. Also, IPOB accuses the federal government and likewise the DSS of maltreating MAZI Nnamdi Kanu in custody. We do know that Nnamdi Kanu was picked up in terms of kidnap and rendition back to Nigeria June last year, and a lot has been happening. The indigenous people of the Biafra has raised concern over the health condition of the detained leader Nnamdi Kanu. The group, in a statement on Tuesday by his media and publicity secretary Emma Powerful, said it was no longer sure of the state of the health of Kanu. We do know that his glasses was taken off him, during that kidnap and rendition back to Nigeria. His outfit has not been changed. It challenged the Department of State Service to open up and tell the world why it was shielding Kanu from his family and lawyers. Yesterday, I did talk about that during the update that Nnamdi legal team were unable to get close to meet up with Nnamdi Kanu as well. Let's touch on some other headline, and before coming back again to you in the studio, if you've joined us, it is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. NLC IGP disagrees over police exemption from the 13.42 trillion pension scheme. What is that all about? Pension operators and the Nigerian Labour Congress yesterday opposed the Nigerian Police Force request for exemption from the contributory pension scheme. The Nigerian Police Force made presentation at the National Assembly on its intention to quit the CPS and return to the old defined benefit scheme. Stakeholders in the finance sector also made requests to demand that the minimum 75% of the workers' retirement savings account with the Pension Fund Administration should be given to pensioners at retirement. The question is, even those that have worked 35 years, 30 years, and have left either the state or the federal are still complaining of not being paid some of their pensions as well. Let's go ahead with two updates. Like I said, if you've joined us, it is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Ngige, ASU now blames trade blame, strike, national embarrassment. We do know that the current, as we speak right now, all the university students are now at home, and most of them will probably have to find something to do while they're waiting for the dispute between the lecturers and the federal government. I was able to pick up one of the videos of the interview that was granted to one of the students in Abuja, I believe, yesterday. It's a 26 seconds video. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Hearing it right now, so I'm happy. It's good news. Why? Why are you happy? Because I have things to do. I'm doing photography and I'm trying to relax because school is just taking up all my time, and obviously nobody's serious with school in this country, including the government themselves. So you just have to find something going on for yourself, something that works for you, and school is not it.
Well, you heard what she said. School is not it. As different of so many other international community that are trying to make sure that at least everybody have a good quality education. But this young girl says school is not it because nobody is taking education serious in Nigeria. As we speak right now, we have about 13 million Nigerian children that are currently out of school. 12 minutes past. Minister of Labour and Employment Chris Ngige had a closed-door meeting with the leaders of the Academic Staff Union of University of Abuja on Tuesday, faulted the union's claim that the government refused to implement agreement rates. So we don't know what's going to happen, but in the next 5 days, the National Association of Nigerian Students have said all the road in Nigeria must now become no-go area for what we call a total blockage. So we have about 5 days to that. And Starr Radio UK will continue to monitor that. And when that happens, we'll also be giving transmission right on the ground with some of our correspondents in Nigeria on Starr Radio UK. Let me come back slightly back again to you in the studio. It is Starr Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Olayomi, thank you very much. A bit of disturbing news coming from that area, coming from Nigeria, and I'm very concerned. I mean, let's start with the young lady who was speaking on that. That mindset for me is troubling, because if we've got to a point where the youth, the future leaders, the way education has been managed, they see it as no. It's not that they don't like education, but as a direct result of the happenings in the country currently, they've now concluded that education is not the best way for them, and they want to do something with their life. I mean, how are Nigerians taking this?
Well, you're quite right. Sometimes we've seen some Nigerians, especially our sisters, probably the longest one I believe I can remember was 2 years ago when this same strike occurred, and 9 months, some have already become pregnant and delivered the baby before even thinking of returning back to school. Education is very, very important. Education gives the horizon of the citizens, but it seems in Nigeria, the politicians are using everything to subject the human of millions of Nigerians. What do I mean by that? We've seen people complaining about the poverty level, and I was laughing this morning just before coming on air when somebody called me and said he was discussing. I mean, he was actually, these are people that believe in Yoruba nation, and somebody called him and said, when is this country going to break away? Because it doesn't seem to be going very well with people buying anything. And he was saying, who is going to buy these phone cases when people are hungry in the first place? I had to laugh all the way through. That shows that currently, as we speak right now, it's not just about the education sector, it's about almost every sector. And that doesn't mean that the debt ratio in Nigeria doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. We have a huge debt in Nigeria that we still have to repay back to some of the countries like China and other countries that the money has been borrowed in the first place. So education has not been really been a key. I was speaking I believe last week as well. I finished secondary school in 1995. But as I speak to you today, an average Nigerian, basic, when you look at it in total, even a university student cannot write a very good summary in terms of the spelling and all that. And that is why some country like United Kingdom is now telling Nigerians to retake English before you can even go into some of the university here.
Yeah, sad, but let's push on. Olami, the other thing I want us to look at is the next 5 days likely we might have a very big, if there are threats go on, a major incident or situation in Nigeria where routes are going to be blocked, a lot of people are going to be impacted. The minister is claiming that, look, the unions are actually putting false foot, so to say. Did the minister provide any evidence to show that all the agreements the unions have with the government have been implemented?
Well, according to the statement that was released by the spokesman Charles Akpan for the Minister of Information in Gege, I mean, I'm not surprised because if you remember, it was the same person that says it's better for we to have more doctors living in Nigeria going to abroad and they can send back the forex back into the country. According to the statement that was released on behalf of the minister, saying all the issues in the agreement are being religiously implemented, including but not limited to the payment of the earned academic allowances through the office of the Accountant General of the Federation. So if this payment has been done, then why then is the strike already embarked, which is about a month strike, which would have given, but like I said, it might end up become 8 months. Most of the issues in what we know as the 2020 agreement, which moved into the 2021, for which we met in October 2021 to take progress report, are all work in progress. So you can see that if it's a work in progress, that means those payments have not been done. But according to the president of ASU, Professor Emmanuel Osedeke, blamed the federal government for the ongoing strike, alleging that apart from not implementing the 2020 Memorandum of Action, government also failed to convene the regular implementation monitoring meeting as agreed. So it looks like the government have said, we are not going to implement it. It's a work in progress, but we are not also going to have meetings with you. And I'm not sure in any part of the world, especially like you were discussing, even with the COVID, the government is now still listening to most of the country citizens, especially here in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, government is still listening to most of the citizens, especially over here. But Olayomi, on that note, I think I will go with the union than the government, because we now see the minister coming out of what, yes, because he did not back the statement with any evidence. I will not trust what he says, because if the unions are saying these are professors, these are learned people, and I do not think that all of them are PDP or whatever party members. Some of these lecturers voted for APC, and therefore there's no way they're going to go on strike or side with their people if indeed those agreements have been, because what we tend to see with our politicians is they will politicize the situation, they will label the union as being aligned to an opposition leader and therefore trying to frustrate the government. But if what the president of the association is saying and anything to go by, it's like we came to an agreement. Even if you're not able to fulfill it, why don't you just meet us to be able to discuss? The government has that, the Buhari government has that decided, you know what, to hell be the lecturers because they do not matter to us. That's a very sad situation. Olami, let's go straight to Obasanjo. Obasanjo made a comment. What exactly was he talking about?
Well, Obasanjo, for those that do not know, is the former, Nigerian president. He was also a military, dictator as at the time. Chief Olusegun Matthew Okikiola Aremu Obasanjo, GCFR, a Nigerian political and military leader between the 1976 and 1979. He said a couple of things, but the one that is already still out there, my generation should step down according to him. It looks like his generation have done their best, but he's saying their best is not helping the situation in Nigeria. The former president Obasanjo on Monday this week called on the old generation like Atiku, Tinubu, and the rest of them that are still trying to put their weight in to keep one Nigeria, for those that believe in one Nigeria, because we got to always remember, not everybody believes in that one Nigeria anymore as it used to be. But Obasanjo says, call on the old generation of Nigerians to give way for the younger generation to build a prosperous nation. According to him, rather than compete, the old generation should collaborate with the younger people and provide them with the realistic knowledge and experience to transform the country. Obasanjo stated this in a capacity as the chairman while speaking virtually at the 2022 annual lecture of the Muritala Muhammad Foundation with the theme Beyond Boko Haram, Addressing Insurgency, Banditry, Kidnapping across Nigeria.
Wow, wow. I think I agree with him over there. We do have pensioners at post who was a young graduates with fresh blood, fresh minds, who now can work within this current information technology revolutionary age. A paradigm that Obasanjo and others did not benefit from, although they are enjoying the benefit of it partially now. But you're not going to put Obasanjo over there and ask him to maneuver or use a computer, and you put someone, a fresh graduate over there, and they will, no, you're not going to match the two of them. The young one will be better. So if that is what we're working with today, and these elderly men are still in charge of affairs and dictating for the young one, then I do agree with Obasanjo over there. Let's go straight to the maltreatment and what I would deem a bit of human rights abuse that is going on in Nigeria over here. Because if we do have someone who has been arrested, renditioned from Kenya allegedly all the way to Nigeria, and they are still not allowing full access to him by his family and lawyers, there's a problem. People have had a cause to question, why is it that the man wears only one dress to court each time he appears? Is it a fact that this man is being tortured in silence and nobody is, is being made aware of it?
Well, like I said, the question we should ask is the judicial system in Nigeria. Yeah. Who is actually in charge? Is it the DSS or the judicial system? I mean, if the court will say this is what I want to happen to a client of of somebody that is being persecuted, and yet the DSS disagree, disobey, then the question is, are they saying that they are more bigger, than the judicial system?
That's exactly what they are saying.
And that becomes, why a lot of people will then continue to ask the question, do we really have a system working for almost every Nigerian, or is it just the other way around? And again, like you said, we just have to continue to talk about it, so that the international community, like we do say yesterday during the program, the Minister for, Africa, I believe, maybe must have left this morning, Vicky Ford, that was in Nigeria, and part of what she said, which I noted down, she talked about some kind of freedom, peace, within the country, and you tend to ask yourself the question whether they are really up to the current information that Nigerians are facing when somebody like her traveled to Nigeria, and she says the UK still have the value of relationship with Nigeria. She believes that Nigerians are having what we call respect for freedom, that Nigerians are getting freedom. I don't know how that freedom is happening. There's a strong tie
Hmm.
with UK and Nigeria. There's also respect for democracy. Where's the democracy if a person was kidnapped, especially being a British citizen? Because Nnamdi Kanu carries a British passport. I would have expected her to
Yeah.
talk about the Nnamdi Kanu case on arrival in Nigeria, but she never touched on that. She also says that they are standing up for the people's right. And again, what right if somebody is not given access to the legal team? If I was put
Yeah.
up in a prison here in UK, I'm sure the UK government will not hesitate to allow me to have access to a new clean clothes, better opportunity until the case becomes something that will be finalized in
You
each
are
of the
not
courts.
guilty until proven guilty
Yeah.
by the competent court, and therefore, we do believe that, in my view, you are 100% right. We would have expected that if a citizen of the United Kingdom is actually has been renditioned to a country of his origin, he still holds a British passport. He's entitled to the help that every British citizen would have gotten. If it was, let's say, a Caucasian who has been renditioned from Kenya to Nigeria, let's assume, let's call Mary or probably Claudia from Yorkshire made a comment that Nigerian government instigated the arrest and rendition to Nigeria, they will be all in arms. So we expect the same treatment, the same courtesies to be accorded Nnamdi Kanu. I think it is just not fair enough. Well, I'm mindful of the time before we go. But let me pick your mind on this before I come to you for the conclusion. We understand Al-Shabaab spent $24 million last year in weaponizing themselves, buying weapons. I've always maintained war is business. Now we look at Boko Haram. We look at the kind of sophisticated arms, surface to air missiles that sometimes they use, to a point where they can bring down a military helicopter, right? What are the Nigerians saying about how these Boko Harams are armed?
Well, as we do know, they've been able to infiltrate, most of the, military defense across the country. And just a couple of days ago, we do know that they've been able to attack, the Borno military defense as well. Yes, the military are also neutralizing them, but it seems that much is not done, and much cannot be done when we have what we call a porous border across the country, and that would continue to have a lot of problems. I'm just picking up on this. This was yesterday. The Benue State Governor Samuel Autumn has promised to treat all operators of illegal revenue collection checkpoint across the state as armed robbers were apprehended. So we also have, a system where, the porous border has allowed the Boko Haram to come through as much as possible. But yes, we do know that the Nigerian government keeps saying they are doing their best, to make sure that these can be dealt with. But Nigerians are complaining because I spoke to somebody that has traveled to Nigeria from Turkey, saying to me, he's currently in Ogun State, and he says, I hardly have a better sleep in the night because of my life. Not too sure, maybe somebody might knock on the door. And that is the kind of life that a lot of Nigerians are living, even though they might be pretending as if nothing is happening.
And finally, Olayomi, from your end.
Well, tonight we'll be back again on Starr Radio UK, the Niger Diaspora, Niger Voices rather, where we will give you every more information and details, especially where we can now say it seems after the NSAS saga, more of those that we call the influencers are now back on the politics trail as the 2023 is fast approaching. I'll be back again later on. It's exactly 11:28 a.m. I'll say a very good morning to those that have joined us this morning.
Olayomi, on that, I would like to tell you a big thank you again for that wonderful submission. And Nigerian, if you love Nigeria and you want to follow Nigeria, you love Africa, we've always said the powerhouse of Africa is Nigeria. Students, log on this evening at exactly 6 p.m. 1800 UK time for Niger Voices, speaking about Nigeria, wherever you are, everything Nigeria and everything about Nigeria comes this evening at 6 o'clock. Olayomi, thank you very much and have a blessed afternoon. But let's speak just after 12 o'clock.
Bye for now.
Okay.
Àwọn ọmọ Odùduwà. Àwọn àgbàbọ̀ wọn ní tí náà bá tán lára ẹ̀jọ̀ ìtàn lè kánná. Èyí ló fà á tí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lókè òkun ṣe parapọ̀ lórí ìwọ́de ńlá ọlọ́jọ́ kan kalẹ̀ tí àkọ́rí rẹ̀ ń jẹ́ Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally USA fún àṣeyọrí òmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá pàápàá jùlọ fún ìtúsílẹ̀ àti òmìnira olóyè Sunday Adéyẹmọ tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí Sunday Igboho Ọ̀sà kúrò láàmú ayédèrú tí ìjọba Republic of Benin fi wọ́n sí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà mọ̀ wípé àkàrà wòǹgbà ló kájú ẹ̀kọ́ gèrè kámú yangan sẹ́yangan ló ń dá yangan lára. Èyí ló fà á tá a fi ń rọ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́yìnkéyìí ìlú tẹ́ ẹ bá wà jákèjádò àgbáyé wípé kátúyáyà láti wá darapọ̀ mọ́ ìwọ́de wọ́rọ́wọ́ yìí tí yóò wáyé ní US Department of State 2201 CST NW Washington DC 2052 ìyún lọ́jọ́bọ̀ Thursday 31st March 2022 láti agogo 8 òwúrọ̀ títí di agogo 5 ìrọ̀lẹ́ 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. USA time. Bákan náà láti máa ṣàfihàn ìwọ́de wọ́rọ́wọ́ yìí tó bá ń lọ lọ́wọ́ lórí Yorùbá Kingdom TV, Ìjìnlẹ̀ Media, Koiki Media, Ọmọbọ̀rí Owó Media, Ọmọọba Lànà Media, Yorùbá Radio TV, Yèyé Dára Talk Show àti gbogbo àwọn ìkànnì mìíràn tó sọ̀rọ̀ sókè lórí òmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé síwájú sí tàbí fún ọ̀kan òjọ̀kan ìbéèrè tẹ́ bá ní ẹ lè kàn sí wa látòrí www.megarally.org tàbí kẹ́ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ látòrí info@megarally.org. Bákan náà ni ẹ sì ti lè pe Mr. Tajudeen Adé Secretary lórí +1 215 869 2966 PRO Òwúyẹ́ lórí +1 718 808 5914. Mr. Jimmy Abiodun Area Coordinator lórí +1 916 516 3933. Prophet Ayọ̀délé Ológunlolúwa Chairman for Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally USA lórí +1 803 846 1116. Ẹ má gbàgbé wípé ìtúsílẹ̀ èèyàn wa, ọmọ wa, ẹ̀gbọ́n wa, ọ̀rẹ́ wa, aṣáájú wa, arákùnrin wa, olóyè Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho Ọ̀sà ó jẹ gbogbo wa lógún. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ pàdé nínú ìwọ́de yìí láti fi ẹ̀hónú wa hàn kí gbogbo ayé gbọ́.
Gbogbo ọba aládé pátá nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, gbogbo yín la kí